woke up bright and early to drive down to the Mornington Peninsula for a few days of hiking and exploring to see exactly what this stretch of coast has to offer. It is only a 1 hour drive from Melbourne, so it's great to stay or even come here just for a day trip. After arriving, my first stop was Cape Schanck at the southernmost tip of the peninsula, arriving at just after 8 am, and I started my day with the hike to Bushrangers Bay. It's a 5.4 kilometre return trip. At the very beginning of the walk, there are these stunning lookouts, but then the majority of this hike is through bushland. Once you scale down the steep stairs, you emerge onto the beach, and this was a sight. The creek runs down to meet the ocean, and this is where you gotta get a little creative to find a good place to cross to avoid getting wet. Bushrangers Bay was absolutely incredible, with so many rock pools to explore and the powerful waves crashing onto the rocks sprayed up so high. I did spend a long time trying to take photos of this, but they just don't do it justice than being here in person to witness it firsthand. It feels very much untouched and a wild section of coast, but it is also a very popular tourist destination, as you can actually swim in these larger rock pools on low tide. The two pools are this deep green colour with little fish swimming all around, and are just magical. I was here when it was very overcast, but I can only imagine when the sun is out, those colours must pop. I never knew these existed, so I will definitely be back to swim in this popular spot sometime soon, that is for sure. After spending an hour exploring this stretch of beach, I made the trek back up. It was hard work on the way back, being majority uphill, but it was well worth it. After making it back to the car park, I then walked along the Cape Schanck boardwalk, taking in all the sights. Then I had to climb back up all these stairs, and I think This is going to be a theme on this trip. I then checked out the historic Cape Schanck lighthouse. It stands 21 metres high and is a beautiful old limestone lighthouse, originally constructed in 1859 and is still operational to this day, though it did become automated in 1987 to guide ships through Bass Strait. They do run tours here on certain days where you're able to climb to the top and be told stories of the history of the building and the keepers that maintained it. But I feel like just walking around the grounds and reading all the signs and information plaques is just as worthwhile. And this lighthouse stands an impressive sight on this rugged coastline, being visible for miles. After spending the morning exploring Cape Schanck, next stop was nearby Gunnamatta Surf Beach. This iconic beach is considered one of the most dangerous beaches in Victoria, with its strong rips and currents accounting for the highest number of rescues per year. It is a patrolled beach, but if the signs don't ward you off swimming here, just walking in the shallows you can feel how strong the pull is from the shoreline. Whoa! And how quickly the water flows in and out with each set of waves. But even though I wouldn't go in the water here, as you have to be a very confident swimmer or surfer, which I am not, the beach itself is absolutely incredible, with this expansive yellow stretch of sand and surrounding landscape. It reminds me of Cape Willamette in many ways. So I loved it. After walking along the beach for a while, I headed back up to the car park, got in the van and drove to where I booked a foreshore campsite. There are these foreshore campgrounds all along the entire peninsula, operating during certain months of the year. I wanted to stay somewhere a bit out of the way, quieter than the more popular spots being Rosebud, Rye and Sorrento. So I picked a smaller campground in Blairgowrie that was independently ran, as majority of these camping spots are run by the local council. The one I booked is called Whitecliff's Foreshore Camping at Cameron's Bight, and I lucked out on this one, as one of the only spots left available was this incredible spot on the water. This camping ground was nice and quaint, the amenities were very clean, and I thought it was neat that the toilet and shower blocks were locked and you were given the code on arrival, making it feel nice and safe. I then walked along the small beach here at Cameron's Bight. It's a popular beach for dog owners. Luckily for me, I love dogs. But it also has a pretty outlook with all the boats docked in the bay and has an interesting history, being the first British settlement here in Victoria. Then I came back and just relaxed for the rest of the afternoon, reading and drinking, two of my favourite pastimes to do when I'm on holiday. Then after dinner, I walked down to the water to just sit for a while. Even though the sun sets on the other side of the peninsula, the colours here were just as pretty as I watched the sun go down. So that was my first day here on the Mornington Peninsula, and I hope you enjoyed it. And join me next time as I check out Rye and Sorrento. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next adventure.